I look at you guys and I see people that make music together, colleagues, partners in the business world, but I also believe I see very good friends. And as someone who has worked very hard to balance a partnership and friendship on the business and friend side of things, we've been through a number of blowout fucking battles. Do you guys
have you ever fist fought each other?
We got close once.
We fist fought each other like 3 or 4 times.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it used to be like a once a year thing that happened, like the Purge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was always like around the first,
Just the sound.
yeah. But it was, I remember the first one was we were in, I think, like Mexico in Puerto Vallarta or something with like another DJ. This is like a long time ago. This is probably like 7 or 8 years ago.
2013 or
yeah. And this guy was like, you know, with us. And I think we were like leaving a strip club or going to one in Mexico, and like we wanted the front seat, and we literally beat the shit out of each other over a shotgun seat.
Yeah.
And the guy was with us was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys?" And there's a photo from way back of us, like right after, covered in blood, smiling.
Oh, y'all really went for it.
Yeah.
Fist.
Well, I have like a loose nose. Like it doesn't take much to get this thing going. So our fights look way more dramatic.
A loose nose.
Yeah, a loose nose.
But no, I mean, I think what you guys are getting at. I mean, it's like we're very lucky. I'm sure you guys. I mean, how long have you guys been friends for at this point?
Yeah, we're approaching 6.
6.
Yeah, so we're about 10 years in, and you know, we always say it's like meeting each other was the luckiest thing ever.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
And you know, I don't know how it's possible. We're so aligned on just the way that we want to work, the way we want to treat people. You know, there's just like bigger ambitions, the things that, you know, we literally met like we met just on like a whim. A mutual friend was like, "You should meet Drew. You should meet Alex. Like he's DJing in New York. He's producing music and graduating. You guys should just hang out and have a beer together and see, you know, what you guys want to do." And we met. It was like the most basic conversation. It was like, "I love Calvin Harris." It's like, "What kind of beer do you like?" You know what I mean? And it was like sick. Should we do this thing? And
then it was born.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's
The
it.
next morning. Yeah.
But then we like work. You know, we were very aligned on like the work ethic and time it needs, you know, put in. And it's like we push each other because it could be like, "I don't want to go to do this show," and then the other one's like, "Dude, think about it. Like this, and this," and you're just like, "All right, we're going to go do the show." You know,
there's a level of like accountability. Like, you know, we're always like, we're not competitive, but we always like motivate each other to just be better. And if one of you is off, the other one's on, and so you're like, shit, I got to live up to that person today.
Extremely serendipitous and lucky. You are right.
Yeah.
It sounds like the luckiest thing ever because both of you sharing those characteristics that are extremely rare for one person to have is different. And you both have these same things that like make success. You both have the it factor, and you're together.
But even
and
the
found
business
each other.
stuff. I mean, I know you guys do investing now too. But it was like, I remember he was like, "We should like think about starting a venture fund." And at the time, you know, this is probably like 4 years ago. I was like, "I don't even really know what the hell you're talking about." You know what I mean? But we spent time like learning and, you know, understanding, speaking to different people. And now we have, you know, we're on our second fund. And I'm so glad that he had this idea that at the time just sounded like extra work, you know, on top of our insane schedule.
But he's really fucking good at it.
But that's kind of the point,
like,
isn't it? Like I would have never have discovered this if it wasn't for her, you know, him pushing us in that direction. And now it's something that I get like so much, pleasure from. So I think it's important to have people in your life that like push you and challenge you, and I don't know, keep it interesting.
It also seems like you guys know, and I guess after a decade, know where each other's strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And know, like, how long did it take you guys to get to a point where you were comfortable giving critical feedback to the other person and the other person accepting it without a lot of fight back? Because me and him had a long kind of growth period where, you know, our dynamic was much more imbalanced. We weren't two equals. He was fucking Logan Paul, and I was, you know, a marketing manager from a furniture company, and he saw what I had to offer, but there was a power dynamic change. You guys being on an even level, was there a lot of trouble at first trying to figure out like, "Yo, I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going to fucking listen to you"? Did you get into fights over that kind of stuff?
How would you describe that, like, from the beginning?
I mean, I think it was interesting
because we kind of like instantly set into our roles, and our roles have both evolved personally, but also together.
Like, I didn't know how to make music in the beginning at all. I was just a DJ around New York, so I had shows. But Drew knew how to produce, and so when we started like making music,
pretty
together,
bad music.
But like,
I knew how, yeah.
But you know, I think it was like respectful. I'm obviously like know that I don't know shit really, but I have ears and taste, you know what I mean?
I have ears.
I think. And so like, you know,
Basic
you offer
requirements for becoming.
but it's
getting
also
into
like,
these-
you know, you're an idiot. You're like, hey, could you change that thing that's like, it's like the, you know, the middle sound, like, can we have a middle thing that goes, you know, and he's like, what the
I'd be
fuck
like,
are
yeah,
you
yeah,
talking?
yeah.
Yeah, you know, man.
Sure, let me turn the middle up a little bit.
But over time, you learn those, you know, those things, and vice versa with DJing. But I think we both respect, you know, what our skills are at. Like, and also at the same time, like, I think the most important part of any partnership or any like leadership role is just like not having ego. You know, I think that's the thing that kills every group out there is when you start to think that, you know, you're better than everybody or someone's opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean we always agree, you know, or and someone that thinks they're right isn't wrong. But in that situation, it's like, how do you handle it after? Like, do you
being empathetic and being a good listener goes such a long. Those are the two most important qualities to like any company, any team. You gotta just people need to feel heard and acknowledged. And so like you might disagree about some stuff, but as long as like you know what you're saying is gonna like be listened to and considered, you can go pretty far.
And like to your point, what you said, like you coming from a furniture store, like I think that's something we like always look for in other people, not furniture store people, but like
What's in a furniture store?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
At least the headquarters.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, shout out to all the store people too. Fuck.
but it's just like people that haven't had their shot yet that like should, you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
like a lot of time when you look at people hiring at any position, you're always like, oh, that guy's like, you know, graduated at Stanford and has this degree and this. But like we've always gravitated towards the people that are like way hungrier,
Totally.
and have, you know, feel like that this is their shot to finally prove something. And obviously it doesn't always work out, but generally speaking, when it does, and
I mean, like,
obviously
our-
look at you now, you're murdering it. You know what I mean? It's I think that there's something to that, you know.